G'day, welcome to the MacPack.
We're back.
My name's Shane McKenna, and to my left this week in order, the man on the panel who is the biggest fan of WWE. It's my little brother Joe. How are you, boy?
Yes, well, I thought I was, but I didn't have tickets to see it live at Optus Stadium on the weekend.
And to my right, coming in at 6'1", as he does each and every week, he's the baby brother of the pack who we call Junior Boy. Junior Boy, how are you, mate?
It's an RKO out of nowhere!
We'll be chatting
Wow.
about the wrestling off the top on this week's episode on the podcast. Plus, we're bringing back the sayings game. It's been so long, I forgot what it's actually called.
What's the saying?
We've got our AFL predictions for season 2024. Definitely a highlight of mine.
Footy chat.
I've got a dog-specific helping hero, and we also have some massive news to announce about our little radio careers. Boys, it's episode 180!
180.
Let's get into it. Boys!
Domingo.
How are we all? Are we all what?
Fantastic, Jake.
It's fantastic to be here. Episode 180.
I'm fan-friggin-tastic.
There we go. You got
Well, I
it.
thought we had decided. Oh, I think we threw it to you, Joe. It was up to you. You were tasked with the role of getting a darts player
Darts fan,
on
yeah.
the episode.
They
for
all cancelled.
episode 180.
180. No, they all cancelled.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Spewing.
Do you know who didn't cancel? The WWE, boys
WWE.
and girls.
Hell yeah, boys. Went to the WWE on the weekend. How good was it? Did you guys watch?
I did. I caught the Elimination Chamber live on Binge. That's right, Binge.
KO or binge?
No, it was on Binge.
I watched it on KO, but only 10 minutes.
Yeah, I went on to watch. I was gonna watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then the WWE is just there on my TV. I didn't even know it was gonna be on Binge.
Hell
I
yeah.
started watching the Elimination Chamber.
When
and
was the last time you had watched a WWE battle? Is that what they call them? Battles?
Match?
Matt? Nah.
match?
Wrestling match?
I think the only time I ever saw him was at one of my friend's house, the Barhams.
Yeah, okay.
They had Fox, and it would occasionally be on TV.
Used to
Oh,
be
wow.
on Channel 9 on like a Sunday or Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. This is when I was pretty young. I would
Yeah, I don't really remember ever watching a full match episode.
Yeah, what do you call
Whatever
it?
they're calling it. Yeah, no, it was good fun. And none of the boys that I went with knew anything
Oh,
about the
really?
sport, which made it 10 times more fun.
Because it was only last week that we were sitting here when you mentioned that you were going. That was the first time I heard that you had an interest in wrestling. And I assumed that the people you were going with must have had a bigger interest than you, because you've never spoken about wrestling prior to last week.
Yeah, I started the charge. I said, boys, I want to see Logan Paul in the flesh. Who wants to come? And I got 9 of the boys to come with me. We were at Prees, and 2 of the boys were wearing WWE tops.
Nice. Did they get it from the superstore?
One was John Cena,
Nice.
and the other one was referred to as, I'm going to butcher it, but so did he. It was like Pasito. But he said Batista.
Batista.
Yeah.
How do we know?
Yeah, he referred to
Batista.
it as Batista.
Despacito.
Batista.
Batista bomb. He used to be a lead.
The Batista bomb.
Batista. Wait, doesn't he play Drax?
I don't know what that
Oh,
means.
maybe. Yeah.
Dave Batista. He's like an actual actor now.
Batista used to be a wrestler. That's like my era when I was young, and I was watching it on like Channel 9 on a
Batista's
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
after
the
like-
Batista bomb.
Yeah, that used to be his whole
He's
thing.
he's Drax. This guy
I don't know who Drax is.
from Guardians of the Galaxy.
The red guy in Guardians.
Oh, again, yeah, I've seen all of those. Was unaware of that.
He is red, right?
Not in real life.
This
In
guy. This guy.
Guardians. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's actually like a good actor. He was also in Glass Onion.
You'd have to be a good actor. He's been doing WWE for his whole
Yeah,
life.
true. You mean actor?
Batista
I mean,
bomb.
athlete.
Yeah, but we got on the bus and we sat in the what's the best way to describe this? The disabled area.
Yeah, the priority seating.
Priority seating would probably be a better way to describe it. So there was 8 of us, 9 of us all lined up, and the boys all got John Cena's theme up as every single person walked on the bus.
Because was it an event bus?
It's Comedy
Or
Gold.
just a bus?
It was just a bus, but everyone was getting on for free, so it might have been an advantage.
Yeah,
Very nice.
Not too sure.
It was-
You're all heading in the same direction.
But yeah, no, it was great fun. They go for ages though. Like a wrestling match goes for like 50 minutes, which is a bit rough. especially
But
when
they were doing like lots of people in there. That wasn't like a 1v1. Sometimes they're 1v1.
They did tag teams. The tag teams went for like 20 minutes, half an hour,
Okay.
and then the elimination.
And what was the vibe like? Describe it.
Oh,
Where were you
it was
sitting?
actually, I was second last row.
And could you see much?
They would have looked
They were quite small, but and the
And
chamber
they're in
was kind of
they're in a
annoying.
cage.
Yeah, but they had screens everywhere, so you did feel like you were there, and you could hear obviously they had mics under the mat, so you could hear like
that's
the
cool.
bangs. and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But it was actually like everyone that was there, other than us 9, were like clearly diehard fans because I'm not sure of all the names, but someone comes out to a song that is a bit like of an anthem, and the melody kind of the song kind of just goes like, I'm gonna butcher this, but it's just like da 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 da, something like that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
And then
not
he
familiar.
would do a call and response with the entire stadium.
That's cool.
And everyone was
shit.
doing it, and he did like
Was
because this might have been during the Grayson Waller effect, which was like the show before the Elimination Chamber where they call each other out,
Okay.
Oh,
A bit
okay.
of like semantics, bit of carry
and that's when they were doing the whole like, oh, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and they're talking smack about Dwayne.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, shit, he's coming out, and they were playing videos of Dwayne in between all the things.
I
Like,
thought he was
everything was
coming.
The Rock. Every video in between set was like, The Rock is back in WWE, and everyone was like, oh, he's definitely here.
And he
he
didn't-
No, he didn't come out. It's fucking. It clearly wasn't here.
That's
Yeah.
bizarre.
But yeah.
But why would? Because there was news articles in the lead up that saying that he was coming, and then for him to do such a big thing and song and dance about it at the actual event,
Yeah, but maybe
it's
they're
like a real tickle of the testicles.
maybe
Oh,
they're
yeah.
building him up to come back for WrestleMania or something like that. Maybe it's like a season-long hype up.
Are they coming back? Is there plans?
No,
to
no.
do so?
WrestleMania will be back in the US, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
but
WrestleMania's like the playoffs.
So just quickly,
who
as-
won the Elimination Chamber goes to WrestleMania
how many people were in WrestleMania?
2.
So just him and the other guy.
So there's one guy who's like who has the belt, and then the Elimination Chamber was like the
And
best 6 face off to then face the
So
guy
that was
with
like
belt.
the semi-final.
Yeah.
That was the prelim.
Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't know that until it was happening. They like explained it.
And you want to explain how the big match went? So the Elimination Chamber, there's 6 people in it.
So there's 2 that start, and then there's 4 people in chambers, and then every like 5 to 10 minutes, this big like countdown happens, and it's like 10, 9, and then like this light goes through
Yeah.
all the chambers. The whole thing goes black, and then one of them gets unleashed, and they just go in and then destroy
And who were you rooting for?
a low gang.
Logan Paul.
The Mav. The
And
Maverick.
he'd burnt a few people in the day prior. He come out and said that he hated Perth essentially,
Yeah.
and that made big news. He was billed out to be the villain while he was in town.
Well, I didn't know that he was the villain of the WWE, but apparently he cheated against Rey Mysterio he used knuckle busters.
Yeah, I heard
which
that.
Apparently I think they were illegal when he used them then, but he pulled them out of the Elimination Chamber.
There's
There's
the
no-
rules. We were watching. The
Yeah,
comment.
and
The
he's allowed
commentators
to
were
use
very good because I guess they were aware there'd be a lot of people who were unaware of what was going on watching the show.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you call it a show? Match? Movie? Whatever it is. But they were very good at filling in the contextual stuff that we required. Because when I saw a grown man at 9 p.m. on a Saturday night put his hand down his pants, I wanted some context. And he's going down. Oh, he's reaching his knuckle dusters.
And it was actually so good because at that point the camera's like close up in
Yeah.
the ring with Logan. So everyone's watching the screen because you get like close up of Logan and like his hand going into his pants, and then it comes back up.
And that's when the commentator goes, and he can use these because in whatever chamber situation we're
Yeah.
in, you can't get DQ'd.
And they had already explained that because halfway through, a random guy comes in with a chair and
destroyed
starts
him.
hitting someone.
Yeah, he destroyed some guy, and,
And the
then 4 of
commentator,
the umpires.
the umpire's like trying to like yelling at him. And at one point, he did kick or do something to one of the refs.
Yeah.
And the commentator's just like, well, there's no disqualification.
Was he
Nothing
an-
you can do.
No, he
Was he
wasn't
a
even in
wrestler? Or
the.
he
He
was
must
just
have been a
a-
wrestler, but he wasn't in the fight.
For a second, I was like, this
just
could just
came-
be a guy.
This is Andrew Gaff
Yeah,
just
he
knocking
came
people
of
out.
nowhere, yeah, but then then Logan got RKO'd out of nowhere, and then got pinned, and then he like stayed down and then rolled out to the edge of the thing. And because I'm like a big Logan fan, I was just watching him the whole time.
Yeah,
But
okay.
they stopped doing coverage of Logan, but he was
Yeah.
like laid down on the side of the ring.
Yep.
But I noticed he was still in there. And
He
like-
was there,
I was like,
ages,
what's
yeah.
this guy doing? Because the fight went for like another 10 minutes, and then boom, out of nowhere, he came and beat the shit out of Randy Orton. I think
Yeah.
that's his
Yeah,
name.
yeah,
with the
you're
knuckle
right.
Randy
busters.
Orton's like a big name.
Yeah. Everyone was
the
going
Aussie.
for him.
Because he's the Aussie.
Apparently, he's not Aussie. I'm not. I have no idea.
I heard that he was Australian.
I
I
thought
thought
he
that's why
was
everyone
Aussie.
was rooting for him. Because he was like the hometown hero. But I'd never heard of him.
Apparently, he's not Aussie though.
Randy RKO Orton. Even I know who he is.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not Australian. No, he was born in Knoxville, Tennessee.
That's close.
I think this was the girl Australian, the one that was on the poster.
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley. Yeah, she's Australian. This one.
Yeah, she's
This is the
Yeah,
one
okay.
who
Wesley.
Wesley
Wesley were hanging out.
met. Yeah.
but yeah.
There you go.
But yes.
Very exciting.
So you're hooked. Are you hooked on WWE now?
God no. But I'll keep up with WrestleMania. Oh no. I won't.
It was actually
Yeah.
pretty entertaining. I only watched 10 to 15 minutes, but I was like, beforehand, I was like, I don't know how anyone can find
If
this
it wasn't-
entertaining. And then I watched it, and I was like, you know what? That was actually decent.
Yeah, but if it wasn't in Perth,
I would like it more if they weren't so like makeup and costumed. I found that especially the girls just felt very like goth.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
And a lot of like the people in the audience that were dressed up were very goth. And I was just like, this just feels like a bit culty and I should be listening to like rock.
My
and
Chemical
metal.
Romance, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, me, mum, and dad ended up watching the entire Elimination Chamber.
Bullshit, the whole thing.
Yeah, because
The boys-
But that's what I mean.
Wait,
like
the boys one or the girls one?
the boys on. Because guess what? It was like, oh, well, you want to see Randy and Logan come out. And they were obviously last. And then at that
well,
point,
that's the thing. It was actually right.
they're all
It was-
going to town.
it was
No
re-
one... We put it on, like, oh, we'll have a look at this. And then we watched the entire thing.
Well, it was really satisfying to watch. I think it's the way they shoot and the camera angles are changing, and there's stuff always happening. Like
Yeah.
very rarely is
There's
there
also,
is it
but
boring.
what you don't realize when you're watching it on TV, because on TV you watch two people going at it
Yeah.
each other for ages. The other guys are just laying down. On
Oh,
the
you,
mat.
so you can see them
They're
on
just
TV.
like kind of crawling around.
Oh, so it is like the video game.
Just
Like,
like
I
on the
just
map.
thought that
Yeah.
was when we were playing.
I was a bit
PS2.
like, I was like, because Logan was down for like 15 minutes. I was like, what's this guy doing?
Well,
He's just
that-
laying down.
That big guy, Kevin KO guy,
Kevin,
he would
oh,
just disappear for like 20 minutes.
that's
And
what I
then,
mean. And the
oh,
camera
and that guy's
just
still in the fight somehow.
Well, there you go. In all the excitement of it all this week, we asked the people of Perth. A lot of the pack got involved. We wanted to know what our specific wrestling names would be and what our intro music would be as well. We've got a fair few, but we'll just read out a couple of the best ones we've got. First one comes from... We'll do you first, Junior Boy. First one comes from Mitchy Dog,
Mitch Nicholas.
the blue collar dog. He said Riley's nickname would be Riley
Nice.
Riley Fuck. F.U.C.K. Future undisputed champion and king.
Oh,
I like it.
It's like an anagram.
And, yeah,
Analogy?
yeah.
not that one.
One,
Um,
one of those.
Acronym.
And he said he would come out with
Synonym.
Kurt Angle's, maybe Kurt Angel's theme. I'll play that very
Ooh,
quickly
okay.
for you now. So this will be Riley's anthem, right?
Yeah. Introducing Riley Fuck.
I don't think there's any lyrics. I think it's just like, he's a pretty saucy looking dude. He looks a bit like me.
And he's probably not going to be too happy if you're coming out to his song.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great
Yeah, I
point.
did also the walkouts so fucking long. Like, it would take them half an hour for the 6 people.
Well, that
Really, yeah.
that's
Oh my
ages.
God, so annoying.
That's ages. We also had another one for you, Riley, from the Steph Effect is her name. That's a cool name. She goes, Riley should be the smiling assassin.
Ooh.
And his
Ooh.
entrance, his move, he's got a specific move. She must be a proper fan. Move is the smiling, then cage dives. Not sure what that means. And your enter song should be Sandman from Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
Enter Sandman. Do you want to give him a little...
Introducing the smiling assassin.
Oh, he's rather saucy. I reckon cowboy hat required. You could rock a cowboy
Yeah.
hat with that mullet. You'd look
Cowboy
pretty-
hat and jocks.
Oh, I like this one better.
There you go. That's a bit saucy.
I'm still gonna go with Bohemian Rhapsody. Would be mine.
As your name.
And specifically that Magnifico.
We'll quickly do a couple for Joey.
Joey.
George got in with just Joey the boy. Joey the boy. McKenna.
Joey the boy.
That was
Joey the
I
boy.
guess that's just confirmation bias, just to make sure everyone knows.
Joe would be funny. So I could actually imagine Joe being like, oh. Yeah,
Just
that's
carrying
it.
on like that.
yeah, because I'm a winner.
We had the same. We'll go with the same two people because they've got some great ones. Mitchy had Bad Man Joe. So you've gone from Joey the boy to Bad Man Joe.
Joe.
And then you've got Mark Henry's. I think Mitch has just picked
Restless Son.
established people. He wants you to come out to Mark Henry's theme song. Mark Henry, Mark Henry, Mark Henry. Give me a second.
All right, introducing the reigning champion, Bad Man Joe.
Slash the boy Joe.
No,
You would be so out of touch if you're doing this, I reckon.
Yeah, they're all weird. They're all bad songs, aren't they?
The Steph Effect said Joey the Blowy would be your name, which I think
yeah, Joey the Bowie. That would also be my special move.
she reckons
Take you under the cage.
your move would be blow a kiss and then a pole dive. I'm not sure what that means.
She must watch.
I think
She
she
must
must.
be,
These
yeah.
sound like legitimate
They
things.
moves.
Have you ever heard of
I don't-
Hysteria by Def Leppard? Because she reckons that would be
That would be
your.
my song. Introducing the Blowy Joey.
It's very romantic.
No, hyping up.
Backstreet Boys.
It's very like
Back.
every move you make, I'll be watching you. Oh golly gosh! But my favourite, I must admit, I'm self admitting. Geordie's gone one for me. This is a couple for me. These are good. Jake the Mac Dog McKenna,
Yeah.
which is like, yeah, it is what it is.
I
That's
like
pretty.
it, the
It's,
Mac
it's just
Dog.
simple. I like how he's just gone. We're not gonna go too illustrative. We're just gonna
Yeah.
see what's
The Mac Dog.
see what's available. And we're on with, he didn't come up with the song. Mitchy Dog said "Sexy Boy J Mac."
Excuse me? I'm bad, man, and you get sexy boy.
I get "Sexy Boy" with
Okay.
the Shawn Michaels theme. So Joe, give us a little bit of an entry. Here we go. We got a bit of Shawn Michaels.
Introducing the sexy boy, Jake.
I like this one.
I like that. Mitch has got it down pat. Mitch must have
Yeah.
been. Mitch, you went with Mitch.
Mitch was also there.
Okay, Mitch is a super fan.
I didn't get to see. He was sitting down in the good seats.
And then we'll finish things off. The Steph Effect said "Home Baked Jake" should be my name. With the Darth Vader Death March as the song.
Oh, see, that's a good entrance song.
Yeah,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Home Baked Jake. You reckon that's?
Home bake, Jake.
And my move would be the cookie cutter combo.
Darth Jacob.
Home Baked Jake. I think she's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She must know I like.
You bake.
Yeah, I like it, my sweets. And then my favorite of the whole bunch. This one comes from H. Weller. He didn't give either of you boys a clip. He just gave me a clip and went, Jake is going to be the Thunder from Down Under. And this, boys,
That's cool.
is going to be my intro. So, Joe, just give me a little bit of Thunder from Down Under.
Introducing the Thunder from Down Under. Hey. Yeah.
And I reckon that is the absolute best of the night. Absolute superstar.
Hell
Thanks
yeah.
to everyone for getting in contact. We had some rippers. They were the best of the bunch. Alrighty, boys, it's time for one of our favourite segments here on the MacPack podcast. It's definitely one of my favourite theme songs. This one is about, namely, it's Australian slang. It's Australian sayings, and it goes a little bit something like this.
Been trying to do my thing, but I've been hearing things lately. Funny sayings, I don't know what they mean. Now we're gathered here, I was wondering maybe, can you tell me maybe, what do these sayings mean? What's the saying? What's the saying? What's the saying? Tell me what's the saying?
Tell me what's the saying indeed. This is the segment where I basically come up with a pretty well-known word, phrase, saying that is well-known within Australia, and I pit the boys up against each other to see if they are able to work out exactly what the saying is.
There you go. It's in the name.
Do a little bit of code work for me here,
What's
lads.
the saying?
Boys, first one up. We're going to throw to Riley to kick things off. Riley, you both get the chance to answer, but Riley gets the chance first, right? So I'll say the thing. You both have a opinion at answering, but Riley will announce his first. First one up is, what does the term Buckwheat's chance mean?
Sometimes it's better to go second.
Buckwheat's chance.
Buckley's chance. Like, you got to write something down. Write like a little bit of an idea down so that it's clear that Joe hasn't just heard what Riley said and then followed. So
Okay.
we'll just give us a little bit. It's not that hard. My biggest thing with this is you boys are terrible at it.
Have you heard this before, Buckley Chance?
Yes, all the time.
Who was that?
So-
I'm gonna think that Buckley is a guy, and that he's
'Cause
either lucky or not lucky.
Yeah, that's it.
It's Buckley's chance. Like Buckley would be like some politician that got shot or something.
Well, I've got that information. We'll go into that in the answer. I reckon next week. We might even do this as soon as next week, and I'll get you, Joe,
Joey,
to maybe
On the
find
prowl.
a couple and pit me against Riley. And I bet you I'll get all 5.
huge of true.
Yeah, okay. How much we bet?
I don't know.
Riley, lock in your answer.
Buckley's saying, what is it?
Buckley's chance. What does it mean?
Yeah, Buckley will be like a horse or a guy of something like that, and it'll mean that you've got a good chance to win.
Joe.
I'm going to go the opposite. You've got a bad chance.
And you're a horse.
Yeah.
So Buckley's chance means you no hope.
So I win.
Yeah, like your
Oh.
Buckley's chance in
Buckley's
hell, man.
chance.
No chance. That's what it means.
Oh, well, I was pretty close. I was
William
just on
Buckley
the-
was an Australian.
Hey, there you
was
go.
an Australian.
Should I get honorary points for this?
He escaped a convict ship during the first attempt to settle in 1803. 3 decades later. I don't know. It's a very boring story.
I prefer the horse narrative.
Yeah. Anyway, essentially, he's just a poor loner who lived in Tasmania. So you got Buckley's chance of getting shit done. Essentially, that's what it means.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can't believe neither of you heard that.
Never.
This
Never.
one's a little bit more.
You get to go
Okay.
first this time, Joe.
I'll make this one easier,
Get to.
and then the next couple are going to be pretty tricky. One for the road. What does one for the road mean?
One for the road means getting a drink and just fucking hitting the road. And then one extra one before you leave.
Riley?
One for the road means you grab a drink to take on the commute.
Yeah, Joe's probably more accurate in the sense that you take one as you're about to leave.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, okay. We'll both points. We'll give you both points.
said
It
what I
says
said.
a last drink before going home. Said at a bar or friend's house before going home. The saying hasn't been eradicated by the increased amount of random breath alcohol testing on the road. Well, there you go. So 1 point each.
One
for-
each.
Well done, boys. Thirdly, what is Akadaka?
Oh, I know this. Do you?
AC/DC.
Yeah, it's ACDC.
Yeah, good. Okay, so a few little softballs here, boys.
Oh, that was close.
Yes, it's just how
Buckley's chance.
It's just how Australians refer to the band AC/DC. Fourth, what is a bushman's handkerchief?
Oh, I know.
Ooh.
Okay, Riley reckons he knows. We'll get Joe to go first.
Bushman's handkerchief.
Score is currently what?
This is a gimme.
3-1?
I've never heard this. Yeah, no, it's 3-2.
Okay.
A bushman's handkerchief. I'm gonna say your sleeve.
Okay, I don't mind that.
Oh, that's way better than I was gonna go with like a leaf.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be.
Like you blow your nose on like a leaf instead of the hanky.
You're both incorrect. It's not really a handkerchief at all,
What the
but
hell?
rather it's using your hand to just go,
Ah.
just bang one
A
out.
little snot rocket.
Yeah, literally.
They're fun, hey.
So for the audio listeners, it's putting one finger on a nostril and blowing like hell out the other
Yeah.
nostril.
AFL players love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Bushman's handkerchief. There you go. More you know. 3 plays 2.
Yep.
Riley,
Riley
need this
leads.
one.
Huge.
Riley leads.
But we both got Akadaka.
Whatever the first
Wait,
one
do you?
was.
Yeah, what the hell?
You're both on.
Wait, I think maybe
You
I'm
got
on
the
3.
easiest job.
It was a Knuckles choice.
Yeah, right. Sorry, I lead.
Yeah, exactly. Riley, you need this one to stay in the game.
Frick.
Boys,
He's got Buckley's
I've
chance
got a
of winning
Buckley's
this. one.
choice.
Yeah. He's got a bushman's handkerchief of winning this. one.
what is a furphy?
It's a Furphy. It's a Corona.
No, what's a furphy?
A Furphy's a beer.
Yeah, but what is a furphy? What is the beer brand built on? They're built on the idea of a furphy.
A frothy top.
No.
Furphy.
A furphy. What is a furphy? They even utilize it in their marketing. Like they've done full ad campaigns about.
It's a Victorian beer. Though. We don't really get many Furphy ads.
I'm gonna say a furphy is like a lie.
Ladies
Like
and
telling
gents,
a
Joe
furphy.
has absolutely hit it on the head. It's a rumor or story that is improbable or absurd. Like in the ad, they talk about this guy who kicks a footy and it goes through the goals, and then the actual leather of the footy falls off the outside of the ball and hits the post. So we get 7 points for a goal. Like, it's just this old tale. That's what a furphy is. So much learning going on when we bring up this segment. That's why I absolutely love it, and we hope that you love it at home as well. It's like educating. Look at this. Little Australian history.
I can't believe I won. I thought I had a Buckley's chance.
Alrighty, boys, it's time for one of my favourite things that we do each,
One of my favourite segments.
each and every year that swings around, mainly because I like to look back on things 6 months later.
Yeah.
It is now time for our AFL predictions for season 2024. The amount of hilarity that often occurs as a result of these and the lack of research that a handful of the members who sit here do really makes it educational for everyone involved. We're going to kick things off. We often do 4 brackets. We do Rising Star, we do Brownlow Medal, we do Premier, and we do Wood and Spoon. For those international listeners, AFL is like our version of soccer. Wooden Spoon means you're the worst. Premiers mean you're the best. Brownlow Medal is what we give to our MVP, and Rising Stars we give to the best young up and coming person. Joey, we're going to kick things off with you. Who is going to be the 2024 Premiership team?
Do I even have to say it? Do I have to say it?
That's kind of the whole point of the segment.
Yeah. Come on, do I really? Really, what are we doing here? We all know.
Who's it going to be, Joey?
Black Mental. No, obviously Collingwood will win again.
So locking in the Pies. Pies go back to back.
Yeah, I think they're in good form. Quaynor's looking fucking jacked as usual. They're going to win.
Somehow he comes back more inflated every year.
Yeah.
At some point his skin's going to pop.
As soon he's going to be fucking as big as me. Yeah, no, I just think they're in such good form. I was talking to Mum about this before, actually. I was saying that winning 2 in a row.
Yep.
So the first one, super exciting. Second one, not as exciting as the first one. But then the third one is fucking...
That's a good point. So you reckon there's a lull in the middle.
The second one is like, winning 2 in a row is like, that's kind of cool. But winning one after a while is like sick.
Yeah, well, the last time we'd won up until last year was...
2010.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's been 13 years.
Yeah, so I reckon we'll still win it, and then I reckon we'll win again next year.
You reckon we go 3-peat?
Yeah, obviously.
I wonder if there's any markets you can already put that on. That'd be worth a cheeky penny. Junior boy.
Back in the Pies as well. No questions asked.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. And I know that last year we used to North Melbourne last year, which was quite outrageous. And I can't remember who. I think you said the Docks out of nowhere.
That's huge.
I went Brisbane, and then I went the Pies because you made me jump off Brisbane because you were like, no, they're definitely going to win it. So I had to go a roughie. So I went the Pies, and there you go.
There we are.
Right. But I do think that like we've come by the looks of things. I know preseason everyone's like absolutely dominating.
I hear they're training the house down.
Absolutely tearing it up. But we look as good as I think we've ever looked. And realistically, usually like a premiership team loses a handful of players. A lot of them get the top enders disappear.
Yeah.
Get a bit old or retire, for example. We got rid of Jack Ginnivan, who like lovely kid, great player.
Yeah, he's dead to us.
Super sub. But we added Lockie Schultz, who was arguably a top 5 player of the Dockers for the last 5 years.
Yeah, and even
star.
Finn McRae.
Yeah, Finn McRae coming off VFL. He's like an absolute jet, man.
Jack didn't play many games last year anyway.
That's what I mean. Like, it's not like we've lost, with all due respect, it's not like we're hemorrhaging from the loss of Jack Ginnivan. We found a like for like, who in my opinion is better than Jack.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I just think I think the best team in the competition got better.
Facts.
And I think everyone will be a little bit concerned because I don't think other teams have added assets to the level in which they can beat us.
No.
And Braden Maynard's now, his shoulder's actually like in good nick.
Yeah. He's getting it plated with titanium.
Next up, so we all go on the Pies, which I like.
Obviously, yeah.
Next up, we're going to go, what do you want to do, Brownlow? Let's do Brownlow.
Yeah, we'll do
Riley,
Brownlow.
you can pick the Brownlow medal winner this year.
In Dacos 3 votes.
I get the sense that we're all going to have pretty similar thoughts. I also think Nick is I think he was robbed last year. I think
It's going to be so exciting.
in the AFL, you often have a year where you dominate in the Brownlow,
Yeah.
but you don't necessarily win it.
Yes.
But it's for everyone to sort of take note. Everyone goes, oh shit,
Ooh.
that kid sort of tore it up. And by the time that it filters down to those little pea-brain umpires who are in charge of doing the votes, then they work it out for the following year. So if you've had a great year last year, and usually it's the year after that you'll win it.
Yeah.
My only thoughts on that are that it probably should have gone to Marcus Bontempelli
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, definitely.
And it didn't. Errol Goulden missed out as well. He had
Errol, he came out of nowhere.
and he had a huge last 5-6
Yeah.
rounds, and probably could have stolen it. Probably should have stolen it, especially that Chad Warner sitting with him, and they were like pumping him up in that
Yeah.
last round, and then he didn't get any votes. It was like,
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. Nick is surefire favourite. I just don't see, with the amount of discussion that happened last year with him being the deserved guy until he got hurt, the AFL has a weird way of sort of reconciling that.
Like when Leo won Best Actor for The Revenant. And
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
This is kind of for everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird that a kid in his third year will get a Lifetime Achievement Award, but I think that's what Nick will be getting this
Yeah.
year. I'm also backing in. And Dacos, 3 votes. Joan, who do you
Yeah.
reckon?
So I've actually done a lot of research into this. Sort of looking at outliers, things that could change the game.
Nice.
And that's why I'll be looking in Sean Darcy.
Oh, wow. I was starting to scroll for Chad Warner, who's paying $51.
No, Chad is old news. Sean Darcy.
Wait, Sean Darcy,
The
Fremantle
Fremantle
ruck.
ruck.
Yeah. I think
He spends more time at Benny's than he does at
no.
in his purple uniform, bro.
That's the thing. Luke will take over as key ruckman or whatever. Sean Darcy, full forward. This is just my theories. He's got a Buckley's chance in hell. I think he can do it.
I can't even find him on the sheet, but I imagine.
I had to call up to put money on.
Oh, there he is. He's paying $501. That's a good find. Sean
Yeah.
Darcy.
Mark my words. This is the 26th of February.
It
Sean
is.
Darcy will win the Brownlow.
There you go. You heard it here first. I love it. So we've got a couple for Nick Dacos and one for Sean Darcy.
S. Darcy.
And I think that, good.
Did he get any votes last year?
I don't think he's ever gotten a vote in his life. Next up, we will go
Wait, really? No.
the Rising. No, Sean Darcy won the Dockers Best and Fairest 2 years ago.
That's good. That's basically the Brownlow.
2021. Next up, we're going to go Rising Star, Joey Boy.
Yeah. Okay. So this one, obviously, last year,
Who'd you go last year for the people at home?
Glory Warner.
You did indeed.
I was gonna do a swan sweep again this year, but I'm sort of anti-swans.
You said that last year
Swans, I actually fucking hate them.
because of what they did to Slick.
Yeah, and I just think it's cringe that they did so bad. After being in the grand final, and also they did really bad in the grand final. They were really good, and then they became a cringe team. That's why Corey Warner will bring him on the redemption arc. That's right. He's still eligible for the Rising Star.
I'm
maybe.
looking and I can't find
maybe.
him. I can't find him, so I'm starting to think he might not be. But I rate it. Corey Warner. Let's see if we
Yeah.
can
He
find him.
debuted last year.
I
He
think-
played 3 games.
I think
last
he's
year.
going to blow up. I think also there could be a bit of C. Warner controversy where who's getting the votes.
Oh,
Could be
yeah.
both of them.
There you go. That's a good shout.
First player to get 5 votes in a game.
That's cute. I can't find a market for him. I'm going to assume that he can't win, but
Yeah.
love it nonetheless, Joey. That's good. Anyone, you got a backup in case he's not
Backup?
eligible?
How long's Sean been in the league? Back up. Well, obviously Harley Reid, but because no one else from Eagles is ever going to get a vote.
That's
But they'll probably never win a game, so it's hard to get votes then as well.
good point. Riley, who you going?
Yeah, I'm kind of boys with Harley Reid, you know. So gotta go my boy H.
Did you watch they had a little scrimmage, Dockers and West Coast. They had a
Yeah, it
scrimmage
was during
over
the
the weekend.
WWE. Spent a lot of time at the WWE watching the footy.
Did you actually?
Yep.
That's good. Could have gone to the footy for free.
Those guys play here sometimes.
Harley looked not good, I must admit, and I'm sure
See
that
him run to 50 and boot the ball down to the other side of the
yeah,
field.
that was a highlight. He took
This isn't waffle, buddy, or whatever
He
whatever he played.
What is it?
he took
He kicked the ball. He took the kick out.
He took the kick out, and he just ran. He ran 50 meters up the guards. Like he didn't actually dispose of the footy until he was like the
I don't think he
49 meter mark.
Bounced it either.
He just ran.
What's wrong with that?
No,
It
there's
was like in
nothing-
Forrest Gump. I'll just get running.
I do feel like that's going to be his entire year. Like, realistically.
Just kick
who
it
the
to fucking no one. No one else is there. Yeah, what do you
And also, if you
What do you
know,
expect?
if you know that if you kick it to anyone else, they're worse than you. Just don't kick it to them. Like, that should be a rule. If the team rule was do not make sure you do not
Zero
dispose of
disposals.
the ball to someone who's worse than you, and it's Harley's job just to run coast to coast at all times.
He's a running back. Yeah,
He just runs 200 meters every single kick out. That would definitely change some things up. He looked pretty poor. He looked like a man who had been, and I'm sure this will come back to bite me because he'll probably win it, and then we'll replay this, and it'll be Jake the hater. But he will, I don't know, in the scratch match, he looked like he was playing against men for the first time. And I know he was bullying the West Coast Eagles players at like their intra-clubs and at their trainings, doing a lot of shirt fronting, a lot of fending off. But the blokes who was doing it off were not, they're not competent AFL players. And then
they're in West Coast. Come on.
He played against Fremantle. And I'm not saying that Fremantle are too flash themselves, but they made him look nowhere near as flash as I was expecting. I thought he was going to be a walkover.
Yeah.
But I'd be a little bit nervous if all my eggs were in the Harley Reid. This is going to be so bad in 5 years when he wins the Brownlow. But if all my eggs were in Harley's basket, I'd be concerned if I was West Coast.
I mean, a young player like that can do really well, but not when that's the team.
He's got nothing around him to help.
Yeah.
And
Like, you're just setting him up to be a failure.
And as we mentioned with Will Taylor, I think whatever his contract is, 2 years, 3 years, I'll be stunned if he's in yellow and blue.
Yeah. It'll
come
be
2027.
It'll be like that guy who went to Melbourne, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna save the club," and he didn't.
Who are you talking about?
Joel Watson or something like that. Very famous thing. He got
water.
no. This guy he was like super young player, went to Melbourne, or maybe
Jack
Essendon.
Watts.
Jack Watts. That's it.
Yeah, okay. He got drafted to Melbourne.
Yeah, and they fucking just ripped him to shreds because he couldn't save the team. Mate, no one can save the team.
Yeah, that's
Leave the kid alone. It's not his fault.
That's a
The
good.
team is shit.
That's a good point. So who are you locking in? You're going
Whatever.
Sean Darcy. You're
Sean
going
Darcy,
Harley
yeah.
Reid. I'm going to go Colby McKercher. I think Colby is an absolute superstar. He's a big boy, and he looks very, very capable off a halfback. He's going to play for North. North are playing a fast, good pace of footy. They love to get it through hands. Very circa Collingwood, but with players who are all under the age of 21 and who have very little ability versus like the Collingwood team.
Never heard of the kid, but I hope he goes well.
I don't think anyone is listening to any of these guys.
But he should be a star. He's my pick. He is my pick. And lastly, we go to the wooden spoon. Who do you think, boys, is going to take out the wooden spoon for season 2024? Joe, we'll throw it to you.
Joey.
That's the 1A's. No, obviously West Coast.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably West Coast.
that's fair. Right.
Every other team occasionally looks alright.
Yeah, I'm going to go West Coast. Don't like them, so I hope they do. Stay down the bottom.
Yeah, so I don't think it's even a question as far as I'm concerned. I think West Coast are the worst team in the competition by quite a distance. They have been for a while, and I just don't see anything changing year on year. They don't seem to tip out. They don't look at the shit rubble they've got.
We should have
relegation.
relegation, I reckon.
They just keep forging on with these old boys. Like, realistically, did Nick Nat retire last year? Because he hasn't played footy since like 2018. And you just got to move these blokes on. You can't let them sit on your list for 4 years, 5 years without actually doing anything.
On payroll.
Yeah. Just, anyway, there's so many things that are going. They're a very rich club, and I think sometimes their finances get in the way of their ability on the field. Anyway, they're paying only $2 to be the wooden spooners.
Who's next after that?
North Melbourne at $3.50. I think North
Well, we got
North
Corey
have
or whatever. Like, is your guy named Corey as well? What are the odds? Is his name Corey?
It's not. It's Colby.
That's pretty fucking.
Well, there you go.
What about the other small guy?
And that's the level of expertise you get here on the MacPack podcast. We're all picking West Coast to be the least likely team to win it all. Alrighty, boys, it's time for one of our favourite weekly segments. It's time for our only weekly segment. It's time for our Everyday Hero. Now, this one comes to me. This one happened a couple of weeks ago. It's a short, sharp one, so boys, feel free to get involved, all right?
Hell yeah, yeah. Collab. Collab on that joint.
Collab.
No, usually when Jake does mine, I don't make the tally.
Oh, true.
Oh, yeah, how's the tally looking? Come on,
I
tally
think
up.
you're...
Winnering.
Tally ho.
I think I'm winning.
No, we're all tied.
Oh,
That's
neck and neck.
That's very
and neck.
convenient. This week's Everyday Hero actually comes from a couple of weeks ago. The lovely Dal and I were in Mandurah Bay.
Mandurah Bay.
The same place that the shark got seen only a couple of weeks ago. Do you remember?
No.
There was also a shark attack in Jurien Bay today. Waist high water. Woman got bit in the calf.
Bit in the calf.
Yep.
It's a very specific area.
How big was the
by
shark?
a shark. Nah, it's pretty big, yeah.
You should have seen this photo my mate put on Facebook yesterday.
This is really taking...
No,
We've
you
seen
got-
a few derailings on the show.
You guys
But
know the bloke. It's
the-
actually fucking insane.
The sentence literally when you guys get involved, and now it's, you
Yeah.
guys should check out... You guys have Facebook? Check
We're
out
doing
this...
this segment, yeah.
Check out this photo.
Remember,
Who is this?
I used to play basketball with him.
Yeah.
A short kid used to have a rat tail.
Yep.
Looks rough, but was the nicest guy you ever met.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I literally saw him yesterday.
Oh.
With a great white.
my
Just
God.
handling a great white on
Is that a
shore.
great white?
I don't know.
It's not. But how has he done that?
I don't know. Look how happy he looks.
See, I literally saw him yesterday.
Really, he's
Driving
really
past?
hanging-
No, I was walking past. He's out.
Oh, yeah,
he's
yeah.
Was he
the
fishing
missiles.
or...
Sharking it?
I don't know, but that shark is like, what,
He's got his
9
hand
foot?
on its nose.
And his mate's like holding up the tail.
And is this the beach?
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
the beach. It's
Yeah.
beach Daz, bro.
Could have.
So it must have already been dead and washed up.
No, I don't,
No,
think,
I don't think
so.
so.
It looks pretty...
What, you reckon that's alive?
Yeah, I think he's fished it. I think he's caught the
I
thing.
think he's
I
caught
think
it.
he's bought
Oh,
it.
you reckon?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't be wearing that if you're fishing at night. Look how cold you'd be.
I don't know if I was ripped as big dog. Anyway, this is not great for the viewers. This week's Everyday Hero comes from a little beach tale. Me and Taylor were in Mandurah a couple of weeks ago, and it was really hot. It was extraordinarily hot. This was like during the hot streak we had,
Yeah,
where it was
yeah.
like 40 degree bangers, right? What do you think about going to the beach when it's hot as a general rule?
It's weird because it gets to the point where it's too hot, where it's not worth it.
Yeah, it
Because
becomes
the
unenjoyable.
sand and
We've mentioned it before, but it becomes unenjoyable.
Yeah, it's too,
They're
it's like
going-
too hot. It's painful.
and then you come back and you just feel even worse because you just had to come back.
Yes, and we're in a very luxurious position where we have a pool at home.
Yeah, yeah.
So the
Yes, we are.
so the experience of being warm in order to get to the coolness lasts probably 3 steps.
Yeah.
3 big strides from the door to the
And even
pool,
that,
right?
sometimes I think is not worth it.
yeah, someone can't be fun. put
But
the
when
aircon
you're
on
at the
higher.
beach, often you have to drive all the way to the beach.
On high.
Then once you get to the beach, you then have to walk on sand that is excruciatingly hot.
And
Maybe-
usually it's
Yeah.
busy as fuck and you have to park like 4 streets away. And
Yeah, you
then
gotta
walk
sweat up
all
on the way to the beach.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my least favorite bit is that you then go for a swim and you retreat to the hot sand, and then if you're lucky, the hot pavement, and then if you're really lucky, the hot car, and then drive
Yeah.
home hot.
The sand is definitely the worst part about the beach, but it's infinitely better than, you see photos of beaches in like England and stuff, and it's just rocks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you imagine if it was that, but they were also like 60 degrees? Like,
Yeah, that's true. That's why no one goes to the beach if they don't live, or even if they live in the UK. It's not a very fun place to be. Anyway, on this occasion, obviously we've addressed how hot the sand gets. Now think about your feet. You got 2 of them. Bloody hot, right?
Bloody.
Do you know who also feels the heat?
Dogs.
Dogs. Exactly right, Joe. And this very hero on this very day, we were at the beach, we were in the water, and I looked up to the walkway area where everyone comes down. They bring their kids, they bring their mums, they bring their nanas, and they bring their dogs. And this man would have looked something similar to Dad's, who would have been a middle-aged man.
Yep.
Not a super athletic, like a middle-aged man physique as well.
Dad
you know?
Yeah,
bod.
okay,
Bit
yeah.
of a dad bod going on. He picked up this dog. It would have been like a golden retriever type dog. Wasn't
Yeah.
a small dog. Wasn't like our dog. Wasn't like our predecessor dog. It was probably closer to the dog before that, the big heifer
Jesus,
dog,
yeah.
right?
That was a dad bod dog.
And he's picked this dog up and he's carrying it. Not very well. He's carrying it instead of holding it like a crossway so that the legs are hanging down. He's sort of got it like that, so his legs
Long
are
ways.
facing. Yeah, he's got it vertical.
They
And
look so uncomfy
so
when they're just like.
yeah,
It's like they want to pull their legs and arms down, but they just can't.
They don't
for,
get it.
For those listening at home, imagine if I just grabbed Riley from the behind, but from the shoulders, right?
Yeah.
So I've just grabbed him underneath his armpits, but he's still facing the same direction that I am.
And I was
He's looking at you.
and I was erect.
It's like
So that's how he's got the
it's
dog.
like how you hold a baby if it's shat itself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how he's holding this dog. And he was doing a really nice thing. And I appreciate that he was doing a really nice thing.
He was trying to dislocate the dog's shoulders.
He had to walk quite a long way. And it was so hot. And you could tell when he started, he's picked this dog up and he's walking. And he looked pretty confident about what he was doing
Yeah.
for about 25% of the journey. And then after that, the heat of the sand set in and he started to put a bit of a sweaty man jog on. And this dog, who initially might have been comfortable, starts to sort of like slip from his grip a bit. And he kept running. And as he's running, like the urgency in which he's realized, firstly, how hot the sand is. Secondly, how heavy the dog is. And thirdly, how awkwardly he's carrying the dog. It's become quite a hectic little scene of mush in his brain where he's trying to process all these different aspects of what's going on at once. And then he just starts full bunger sprint. And then he's like awkwardly, like the dog's arms slipping out of one way. And he's trying to make that way down the beach. But as he's like,
And the
if
dog
he
would
slows down,
The dog would be ignorant to the fact that he's trying to help him. So
Yeah.
yeah. He'd be like, what the fuck?
Why are you doing this to me?
It's a song about everyone is looking, Dad. Everyone is looking, and so he's carrying the dog. And the issue, the dilemma he's facing, he's done a really nice thing in picking the dog up, right? That stopped being nice pretty early on because in order to do that, you have to do that quite slowly. You can't run with the dog because it's uncomfortable. You'll drop the dog.
This whole time I've been imagining him like, you know when you're like running and then you start tripping over and you're sort of on the angle?
Yeah.
This is how I've been imagining him the whole time. Like he's about to fall off.
So he's sort of leaning back to counterbalance the 60, 70 kilo dog as well, right? But the dilemma he's facing is that he needs to move the dog slowly so he doesn't lose grip on the dog.
Yeah.
But if he moves slowly, he'll burn his feet.
Yeah.
So he moves quickly, but as he's moving quickly, the dog is slipping from his grasp, right? And so he puts in like a fair jog and he can't work out the balance. So he sort of goes faster a bit, then tries to sort of re-strangle the dog.
Is
And
he
then
on the beach or is he still on like the path to the beach?
No, he's on the sand at this
Okay,
point,
yeah, yeah.
downhill, and everyone's sort of watching, and he makes his way all the way, and the relief that I think both him and the dog felt about 10 meters from the water, where the sand goes from being dry to being wet,
Oh, yeah,
and
that
he
wet
decided
sand.
that's the moment I can just lower the dog and put all of my vertebrae back into where they need to be. The dog sprinted into the water, and he definitely looked more relaxed after the fact, more relieved about the whole situation than the dog did. But I thought it was a fantastic gesture. He put himself out there for the love of the dog, and he could have done himself, and he very well nearly did do himself a proper mischief, and quite the injury indeed.
Good on him. What a legend.
Superstar. And so that's why this bloke's winning episode 180's Everyday Hero. Alrighty, boys, that just about brings us to the end of another episode of the podcast. Before we finish up, we've got some very, 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 very exciting news. First, we just put a multi on, and that is always very exciting news. Gamble responsibly for those living at home, and whatever for those living at home. And if you're not living at home,
Just fucking go for it.
rip in, because you know
Who cares? It's just a mortgage.
rent is not cheap, so you're gonna need every one to hit. Green tick. So
Gamble well.
Are we in an illegal situation where we need to put up like one of those big black? I might leave that with you. You know,
They're not paying for us. We're allowed to say
Oh,
irresponsible stuff. As long as we're not getting paid for it.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, we've just gone and put a multi on our little season
Yeah, season predictions.
Yeah.
What have we got?
So we got Collingwood to win the flag. We got Nick Dacos
Yep,
to win the
easy,
Brownlow,
easy
and
one,
we've
yep.
after a heavy discussion, we decided that we were going to go against the Sean Darcy selection, and we're going to put Colby McKercher in the multi. So we won't disclose how much we've put on it just yet, but we will be
It'll take a long time to say all those zeros.
we will be winning upwards of $5,500 if that hits. So that is our multi, but there's also the PAX multi. So join us as we go. We'll give you the updates as the season goes. If Colby breaks his leg or if Nick Dacos, who knows what that kid will do. Maybe he'll become the actual Messiah and he'll have to retire from the game. But we'll keep you updated with that. In some other very, very exciting news for those who are big fans of, firstly, the show, and secondly, me and Riley's radio careers, we have some very exciting news, Junior Boy.
Bloody oath we do, Jake. Should we tell the story about what happened?
No, let's just leave it as the promotion.
Okay.
Just a bit of a saucy promotion at the moment, and then we can get into that in some finer details later.
There's no other way to describe it, Jake. We're on freaking primetime radio, Jake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Promotion, as you would have mentioned many, many moons ago. Give us the promotion.
The promo.
No, you did a promotion.
I don't remember. Promotion. I don't really remember that.
I don't remember him doing that.
Oh, that was cute. I really liked it.
You guys are on Drive.
We are doing
I'm fucking with you. These guys are on breakfast. They're on the breakfast radio.
We are fortunate enough. We've done enough vampire shifts between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. We're not giving them up just yet by any means. We love them. We're actually doing one.
Can't alienate the base.
We're doing what? What does that mean?
Like your base listeners. You don't want to talk shit about the vampires, the freaky guys listening late.
We're big fans of everyone that tunes in late, and if you don't listen, you can listen on the restream, which is available
that's our wife's plan on listening one day.
But in some very exciting news on the long weekend, which is basically 3 days after this episode comes out. So it's the Monday long weekend in WA, which will be the 4th of March.
Yes.
Riley and I have been given the fantastic opportunity, a little bit of a promotion of sorts, to do the breakfast show between 6 to 9 a.m. on that Monday. So it'd be very exciting, and we'd love for everyone to tune in. Make sure don't stress. We'll remind you between now and then a fair few times, and we want you guys to get involved as well. We're going to be asking a fair few questions in the lead up, so we'll chuck it all on our stories. We want you guys to ping in as many answers as you can. Ping us questions, ping us stories, ping us absolutely everything. Because at the end of the day, we want to make a good impression on the airwaves.
That's correct.
And we want to do you guys justice as well and bring you along for the ride, because just as much as it is a success for us, we're very excited, as always, to bring the pack along for the journey.
And I think it's important to mention, a lot of people don't know about primetime radio. The primetime slots are 6 to 9 a.m. and then 4 to 7 p.m. That's when most people are driving in their car.
So, yeah, we were very, very fortunate enough to get this gig. We will briefly mention how we got it now, I think.
Right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bombshell.
We won't drop any names or anything that happened, but we were there last week. We did a 4 till 6 a.m. shift. Joe's pushing one out. And what ended up happening was, under some very interesting circumstances, Riley and I had to fill for a break and a half, essentially, about half an hour on the breakfast slot. They were very thankful for that, and we were fortunate. There's messages and said, hey, we've actually got a proper breakfast slot available where you'll basically be doing it. Would you like the opportunity?
Yeah, they were like, good stuff. We want more.
Yeah. And we went,
good stuff. We want more.
yeah, really?
I gotta sleep in.
Wow.
So, yeah, we're very excited. But as I mentioned, we want you guys to be involved with the show.
Yeah, so if you're awake from 6 to 9 a.m. on Monday, the
6th of March.
It's RTRFM 92.1.
6 months?
4th
of March. 4th of March.
Via
4th of March.
you can listen via the website or on your radio transmitter 92.1.
92.1. Jake and Junior for breakfast, and hopefully one day in the near future, Joey will be making his radio debut. We're putting a bit of pressure on it. We're putting a bit of pressure on the young man to get involved. He assures us that he's too smart for radio. So over the next couple of weeks, make sure to send him heaps of DMs and tell him that he's not big enough. He's not too big for radio. and we'll see if we can persuasively
I may humble myself one day.
change his mind. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Until we do this time next week, we can do a bit of a debrief about how the radio show went.
How exciting.
There you go. So the next time you'll actually be hearing us will be on 92.1 if you're true fans. And then if not, it'll be on the next week's episode of the podcast. So until we do this time next week, stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to
Go give your mum a hug.
It's ciao for now, but not forever.